When a scary movie has that based on a true story tagline, it automatically pricks the ears of any horror fan and unsettles them half to death. It doesn't matter how or when or why the real-life story took place, just that it did. That makes all the difference. It is because of this that SlashFilm truly hates to inform you that The Hills Have Eyes is one of those based on a true story horror films. Sorry to be the bearer of bad, scary news. While the 1977 film and Alexander Aja's 2006 remake share key story components and tone, the early aughts version upped the ante with one key difference. The remake's homicidal family is physically deformed due to secret nuclear tests on a mining town, carried out and covered up by the US government. Aja claimed in a behind-the-scenes featurette about the movie, "We based all our descriptions and directions on real documents, pictures, and footage that we found on the effects of nuclear fallout in Chernobyl and Hiroshima." While that aspect of the Hills Have Eyes remake is unquestionably rooted in reality, the writer-director of the original 1977 film, Wes Craven, opened up multiple times about the movie's sinister origins.
I went to the New York Public Library and went through their murder and mayhem division and ran across the story of the Shawnee Bean family.
According to legend, Alexander Sawney Bean was born in East Lothian, Scotland. Since his father worked as a hedge trimmer and ditch digger to raise him, Bean planned to follow in his footsteps. But Bean ended up living in a cave near the Galloway coast with Black Agnes Douglas, a woman with a taste for human flesh and carnage, a taste that Bean shared. The exact number of children and grandchildren the pair raised in the cave is unknown, but over the 25 years they called it home, it is believed they raised and cohabitated with nearly 50 family members. The clan, much like the families featured in the Hills Have Eyes films, would make meals out of clueless travelers who unfortunately came across their hunting grounds. The family allegedly murdered and ate upwards of 1,000 people without ever visiting any neighboring villages. But then, one of the victims successfully escaped the family. A man and his wife were attacked by the clan during a journey on horseback. Sadly, the wife did not survive, but her husband lived to tell the tale. According to Alexander Smith's 1719 book, A Complete History of the Lives and Robberies of the Most Notorious Highwaymen, such a dreadful spectacle made the man make the more obstinate resistance, as expecting the same fate if he fell into their hands. When King James found out, he sent in troops to find the cannibalistic clan. Then, when the men arrived at the cave, they found horrors beyond their comprehension. Body parts of adults and children were hung up like dried beef, with even more being pickled. From there, the family was taken into custody by the monarchy and executed for their crimes. That said, historians are not confident that Bean's family ever actually existed. So, despite The Hills Have Eyes being based on a true story, it may all just be an interesting legend passed down over time. Great inspiration, though.
I'll eat the heart of your stinking memory. I'll eat the brains of your kids!
Ahead of the 1977 film's original release, Craven spoke about the Bean family and how their execution mirrored their society. In an interview with Arrow, elaborating, "They did horrendous things to them. I just thought, what a great kind of A-B of culture. How the most civilized can be the most savage. I constructed these two families as mirrors of each other. I found it very interesting to look at ourselves, to think of ourselves as having the capacity not only for great good, but for great evil." Film writer John Woolley Wiley also discussed Craven's motives for modernizing the Bean family story in his 2011 book, Wes Craven, The Man and His Monsters, writing, Craven realized that by updating the Sawney Bean story to 20th century California, he would have the opportunity not only to comment on a cult society dwelling inside modern civilization, but also the chance to comment on that civilization's less than civilized retribution against the cannibals.